Hey everyone, Fohammer 2003 here. Well, it's been a while since I last did an upload or review, sorry about that, but the game's been pretty thin on the ground recently, and the releases that have been out have not really been my cup of tea. So anyway, today we have a review of a new release, Fast and Furious Showdown, nicely timed to coincide with the release of Fast 6. So what's the game like? Well, it's a franchise release, and we all know how good they are, right? Yeah, sorry about that. This game is developed by Firebrand Games, famous for bringing us such titles as... no, I joke. They brought us NASCAR Unleashed and Need for Speed The Run. No doubt though, Activision have nipped at their feet constantly during development to get the game out on time, because that's all Activision seem to care about. Okay, it's neither great or god-awful and terribly bad. It kind of sits in the meh territory. It is borderline terrible though. With the plot, I don't really know what's going on, but then I could say the same with the films. It's the action content and fast cars and even faster women that make it the popular choice that it is. In fact, my advice, if you get this game, skip the cutscenes. They are flavourless and less than interesting to watch. If you skip these, the game actually seems more fun to play. Although if you need to restart a mission, be prepared to listen to the same dialogue every single time. So what's the core game about? Well, it's an arcade racer slash shooter with action elements and quick time events, meaning you either drive and survive point to point, race laps against other street racers, and a few other various modes. This is mixed up with elements of hanging out your car window and shooting other drivers, and shooters hell-bent on taking you down. Often you can even swap character mid-level to mix up the action a little and attempt secondary challenges to gain XP. Yep, Brian O'Connor loves his XP too. So much so, in fact, he can't function in the morning without a heavy dose of it. The game sees you start off in the iconic flip car from the latest box office instalment Fast 6, which is a great way to start a game. Simply ram a police car from behind and press A to flip it sky high. The 5-0 won't know what's hit them. And that's one thing the game does really well. It gives you a variety of tasks to keep your interest locked into the mission. You think you're playing another drive to the end chase, only to end up having to get out your vehicle whilst it's still rolling, to jump onto a truck and start disabling bombs and disconnecting trailers. That's before climbing into the driver's seat and hijacking it. And for the first few hours at least, it's fun to run with the campaign. You will sometimes find yourself frustrated by your AI partner, as some missions it feels like he's actually working against you, and he pretty much scuppers your run with unparalleled annoyance. That said, with a second attempt you will no doubt find yourself succeeding in beating the stage, as the challenge here is minimal in Showdown. And with no obvious way of raising the difficulty other than to turn aim assist off, you will breeze through the game with little standing in your way. Some missions are horribly impossible though, despite the overall easy feel of the game, where you have no chance of completing it without the use of mods you unlock. Double armour is one example. However, the devs saw fit not to allow you to attach these mods without first having to fail the mission, then back out the game to re-enter the mission and attach the mod you want or need. It's just horrible execution. Oh, and I swear if I have to hear Taj say, "Oh hell no," one more time, this game is going out the window. Sure, he says it in the films, but he has other lines to say, I'm pretty sure of it. Car customization is present. Please don't get excited by this though, as customization is not on the level you would expect from a Fast and Furious game. You can change the paint colour or type, add one vinyl decal in a preset position, that's right, one, and then change the colour of your rims. That's it. Once you get to the stage where you can play as Letty, the formula starts to get tired and repetitive, and unfortunately little changes from here. That's when you start to analyse the game, and soon find that the driving physics and mechanics are borderline horrible. The cars are all very slow to respond to any commands from you. The steering is like wading through treacle, and the feel of acceleration is that of a Sunday drive to Tesco, or Walmart for my American viewers. You can see for yourself how the game looks, and there is nothing here of merit. The graphics are about average for a title from 3 years ago. They're solid, and they work. The soundtrack is extensive, and relatively unknown artists, rap, hip-hop, rock or dance, that it's easy forgotten and is easy to listen to, so that's not all bad at least. The character scripting on the other hand is abysmal. Your usual low-paid voice actors talking as if they're running through the events of their day in an otherwise humdrum existence. They have tried to make the actors sound something like the original characters they play, but it's just not the same, and they sound bored. Don't get me wrong though, like I said, the graphics are passable and the gameplay works, aside from questionable AI and the odd glitch at times. And when it works well, the game can be quite good fun, but it just does not last long enough for me to be able to make a positive recommendation for you to go out and buy the game. Replay value is in the form of going back through the missions to try and glean the secondary objectives you didn't pick up on your first playthrough, to earn yourself either mods or bonus content. And to add to the overall experience, there is the challenge modes, which sees you attempt various different goals, whether that be survival, where you need to survive as long as you can until you are wrecked, or destruction modes, where you need to destroy all cars within a certain time limit, which has potential. However, these challenge modes didn't have the fun factor I was hoping they would have. It's still worth a look though. Lastly, there is 2-player co-op throughout the game, where a second player can easily drop in or drop out to assist you. Whilst this is good to see, it does not compensate for the fact that multiplayer is lacking in appearance in this title though. So there you go. Fast and Furious Showdown is not an earth-shattering game on any level. It does provide 6 to 8 hours of car-wrecking entertainment with the campaign before completion, however, and is not horrible to play. But please don't expect any interesting ending to the game. It's a poor ending to say the least. As always, with a franchise game, it never quite lives up to what us gamers want to see, and falls very short of what we could hope for. Hope the review helps you guys. As always, thanks for watching, and take it easy.